And we're live. So here we are, resuming our study of the mitochondriac manifesto. Not sure why my camera is not focusing as good as it used to. And I have to see there's something that I need to do. Oh, it does it. It kind of goes in and out. There we go.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, there you can see that.
Yeah,
We're on page 40. And I do have to put my glasses on because the print in this book, as you can see, it's tiny,
very, yeah,
very tiny.
yeah.
So we are starting with the chapter here where it talks about how brain cells wake you up and put you to sleep. So at 4 a.m. or a couple hours before waking, your circadian rhythm starts releasing cortisol in the brain and body. Cortisol unwinds the triple helix of collagen. Ooh, listen to that. Cortisol unwinds the triple helix of collagen, which releases water. That's why it's important to drink water before you go to sleep. This water expands the brain's neurons, the glial cells, and intracellular space in the cell. This wakes you up. To reverse the process, photons in the morning sunlight start rezipping collagen, which recaptures the water and recondenses brain cells. This contraction process continues throughout the day until the sun goes down. When the sun goes down, less blue light, more red light, melatonin starts to be released. Melatonin acts as a major magnetic force in your mitochondria to recondense brain cells and transport biochemicals to replenish stores that were used up during the day. Goes on to say here that melatonin levels continues to rise into the evening and exerts its calming influence to counteract cortisol's stimulating effect. This makes you fall asleep at night. The body then uses the condensed state of brain cells, along with the regenerative effects of melatonin, to recover and regenerate while you sleep. The next morning, light activates the switch that turns off melatonin production, so the whole sleep-wake process can start all over again. This is the rhythmic, pulsating nature of what circadian biology is all about. It's unfolding by day and contraction at night, uptime followed by downtime. It's but one aspect of the circadian breath of life. So then the next section here is called mitochondria and cell membranes are environmental sensors that fine-tune energy production and consumption, daily season cycles, and cell function. So it goes on to say here that the mitochondria pay close attention to pretty much every biophysical force around you in order to regulate your energy level, cell function, and seasonal changes that run your circadian rhythms. So based on your energy and information exposure, mitochondria regulate the production of chemical energy as ATP, free radicals for restoration, body heat as infrared, metabolic water to store energy, and magnetism to move materials, and redox potential for healing. Critical to every last thing the body does, mitochondria oversee the collection of energy, storage of energy. And it says when and how energy stores are spent and the efficiency of energy production, conversion. Really, mitochondria are in the middle of all things energy in the body. As we'll discuss in more detail in the next chapter, the electron transport chain is grand central station for unpacking and analyzing all the energy and information they get from electrons and your environment. So the mitochondria are responsive to many stimuli in energy production. Electron density. Fats produce a stronger electron flow than proteins and carbs do. So whole foods tend to have more electrons than protons. They're more alkaline, while processed foods have fewer electrons and are more acidic. Let's talk about that a real quick second, because naturally things that are whole foods that are coming from plants that are outside, plants by their very nature are alkaline. But if you have a processed food, it's going to have more sugar in it, which is what's making it more acidic. And that's what this is talking about. Mitochondria adjust efficiency of their electron transport chains accordingly. Oxygen level. Mitochondria are acutely aware of oxygen levels, whether at rest, while exercising, from poor circulation, or at an altitude. Water quality. Deuterium gums up the ATPase, and conversely, low deuterium water helps you store more energy. Then it goes on to temperature. Cold temperatures turn your furnace on by the burning of brown fat and releasing infrared light. That's why it's good to be in the cold. That's why it's good to have a cold bath or a cold shower, because it helps burn that brown fat. That red light, infrared light, absorbs through the skin, and that released from mitochondria makes the ATP spin even faster. And then it talks about the magnetic flux. Magnetism increases energy production from the mitochondria. So it goes on to say here that the main way that the mitochondria measure their efficiency of energy production is by examining free radical emissions from their electron transport chains. It is a free radical signal that tells mitochondria, and of course, mitochondria are the tiny little organs inside each cell, how efficiently they've been burning or oxidizing input materials to make ATP. So how well they're creating energy for us. The main mechanisms by which mitochondria then optimize ATP production is by the adjusting the input rates of materials such as oxygen, in addition to respiratory proteins which stretch, casually referred to as heteroplasmy rate. So input materials, reactants, and oxygen combine to burn best. So prompted by the free radical signal, our epigenetic software then dynamically alters the gene expression hardware, mitochondrial DNA and nuclear DNA, in order to regulate heteroplasmy rates of the cytochrome proteins. In other words, heteroplasmy rates and energy efficiency change in real time by free radicals turning genes up or down. So it says here, fortunately, exposure to blue light and the EMF scramble the free radical signal beyond normal operating limits. Hence, mistuned mitochondrial engines suffer decreased energy production and increased free radical formation, both of which lead to cell and mitochondrial damage, which develop into dysfunction and disease. So it's letting you know how, just by being exposed to blue light, how it's going to change the spin rate inside your cells and your mitochondria, which is going to cause breakage and cause problems with the body, which is why we want to minimize our blue light toxicity. So I'm going to leave this here. We are going to mark this for the next time when we come back. We read this here on 211. We are going to be on page 42 when we return. Yeah, page 42 when we return. And we'll continue to learn about the mitochondria manifesto. And when we return, it'll be talking about mitochondria help harvest the sun's energy from excited electrons. See, we don't get that excited energy from blue light, but when we are out in the sun, then our cells get excited because it's getting good infrared light instead of red light. And so then instead of things breaking, things are optimized. And so that, as you can only imagine, is a very, very, very good thing.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm sinking down in my chair here.
Yeah.
A little bit here. I have a meditation, because I'm short like yourself. I put a meditation cushion on my chair, but sometimes I slide down it, even though it's supposed to hold me up in my chair.
I know, mine too. So
It's
yeah,
all good, all good.
yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I remember one time my son said, Mom, maybe you need a high chair. I'm like, get out of town. High chair, get out of town. I'm like,
Oh God.
at least I'm not shrinking yet. Not yet. Who knows? Maybe since I'm on these patches, maybe I won't shrink because maybe I caught it before the shrinkage started to take place.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's true.
I've heard of some people who've actually gotten a little bit taller because the vertebrae were aligned and there was better spacing, and the cartilage and the discs were reformed so that they actually grew a little bit. And I'm like, could I ever be so lucky?
That would be wonderful.
I
And
would
I
love
know, yeah,
to eke out. I mean, I would take a quarter inch, half an inch. Is it
I
possible?
know, me too.
Anything is possible. If I could be half an inch taller, that would be epic. Maybe I should set that intention. Okay,
Yep.
cells,
Yeah,
eke
there you
out another half inch. So I can be a little over 5'1". That'd be nice. Instead of 5 3/4 of an inch, I can be
Wow. Yeah.
5'1 1/4, 5'1 1/2. Maybe I'll grow 3/4 of an inch.
I'm 5'3" and a quarter, so I'm really tall.
For me, you're really tall.
Yeah,
It's all relative, right?
it is. It is.
All
Yeah.
relative. Sounds
So,
awesome. Well, I
oh,
hope you stay nice and warm there in Yelm. And I hope you don't have to shovel out your own snow, do you?
we don't have snow that comes that deep.
Oh, okay. So, and
We did a few years back where we had to do a little bit of shoveling, but I'm used to doing it. I lived in Idaho for a ski resort for 40 years, so you get used to shoveling snow.
it's got to be quite the workout. It's like,
It is great, and I was in such good condition.
yeah,
So
it's a good natural workout.
yes,
So,
yes, it is.
all good.
Yeah.
All right, my beautiful friend and Jem. Well, you have a nice evening. Stay nice and warm. Hey, we're wearing the same color again. That blue green. We keep on doing that blue green color.
Yeah, yeah,
It's a great color. I love it. I love it. All right, Carol.
yeah. Good color. Well, thank you for your mitochondria there. That information is very good. That book is excellent.
Yeah, it is a pretty good book. It's very well written, I must say. So, yeah. Oh, and I brought this from being at Dr. Stacy's.
Oh my goodness.
So with that, I sign off saying toodaloo to all my friends and gems.
Toodaloo, toodaloo.